This weekend, we'll see a handful of the top riders make the trip across the pond to France in order to compete in the two-day Paris Supercross event. A bittersweet time for race fans with the official cancellation of Monster Cup. This race marks the final time we will see this level of competition in action until we rack and reset them and line up elbow to elbow at A1 in 2023. Hi friends, my name is Donnie, but you probably know me better as Rotomoto on my own YouTube channel, as well as Instagram and Twitter, and my work with PulpMX Fantasy and The Pulp Show. I'm happy to announce that Davey Coombs made room to bring me aboard the RacerX squad, and Weege and Kellen have agreed to share this space with me, so get used to seeing a lot more of this hat and glasses combo in the following months. Typically, these later off-season races are just a little exhibition, and the most interesting headlines are seeing some of the second-tier guys debut with their new teams, but not this year. Paris has attracted 4 of the 5 most winningest riders in the field today, and they all have something to race for. Obviously, Eli Tomac needs no introduction. After dominating much of the Supercross season, Eli had an outdoor battle for the ages, producing the best championship fight in the history of our sport, winning the title in the final moto. He then proceeded to break a decade-long drought, finally bringing the Motocross of Nations title home to the US and on their own soil. He then lined up as a wild card for the opening round of the newly minted World Supercross Championship and breezed to an overall victory with a perfect 1-1-1 score in Cardiff. But he is not done yet. He can't say he won everything in 2022 unless he's on his A game Saturday and Sunday, capping off a perfect season, a fitting send-off for his final year of full-time competition. Ken Roczen, on the other hand, is coming in from the complete opposite side. 2022 was definitely a season he would like to forget. He struggled mightily through Supercross and failed to finish in the top 3 outdoors for the first time in his 9 years racing the Premier class. A messy breakup with HRC Honda followed before he got back on a red machine, albeit for a different team, to narrowly win the inaugural WSX Championship over Vince Freeze. And now, without a team for 2023 and without many high-end options, this race is his last chance to make some sort of impression on potential teams and sponsors, and could prove vital for Ken's immediate future as well as his lasting legacy. Marvin Musquin had a deal with Red Bull KTM to race the Supercross season in 2023, but beyond that is completely up in the air. The 32-year-old has expressed interest in racing beyond, but for whatever reason has not been able to secure a long-term deal. This means every time fans see Marvel on the track in each city could be the last chance they get to watch the 25 in person, and that is especially important here for his race in his home country this weekend. Marv is a 3-time Paris champion and looks to defend his 2021 title this weekend against a much deeper field than he faced last year, where he easily wrapped up the King title with a 1-1-1 overall result. Has any defending series champion ever had a quieter season than Cooper Webb? It's almost like we collectively forgot how dominant he was indoors over the 3-year stretch entering the season. He won more races than anyone else, scored more points than anyone else, finished inside the top 5 in 44 of those 51 main events. Even Coop haters were picking him to repeat in 2022. But Coop struggled, and he struggled mightily, failing to win a single race and only finishing on the podium 4 total times, while also missing his first main event since 2018. All of the usual excuses were laid out. He lost because he left Alden's Baker factory. He lost because the new KTM is bad. He lost on the track because he lost interest in the sport. His strongest asset, his mental state, was simply shattered. He then took the summer off, and Ryan Dungey came off the couch to take his place, and all he did was rack up top 5s and finish the season 6th overall on that exact same bike that Coop couldn't work. Now we see Coop back on the 450 for the first time since May, and now he's lining up alongside the guys he's likely to be fighting against to reclaim that title in 2023. I cannot stress enough just how important this race is to Coop's psyche, as it represents a primer for the first ever AMA Supermotocross season. That's all for this edition of RacerX Rapid News presented by Fly Racing. Be sure to visit racerxonline.com for all your motocross and supercross news. Let me know in the comments who you think will take home the title of the King of Supercross this weekend. Also, some old guy named Justin Brayton is racing too. Be sure to subscribe to RacerX on YouTube if you haven't already, and stay glued to racerxonline.com. My name is Donnie. Thanks for taking this ride along with me, and RIP Coy Gibbs.